here's the thing. For everybody listening, don't make the same mistake the Bengals just did in any facet of your life.
People are going to get hurt. It's the hockey season. And if they want to make the deep run to the playoffs, they're going to need players. And Ben Hutton's a good defenseman that can help.
I don't think they will. If they don't have Anthony Davis, I'm saying it right now. If Anthony Davis is out for the playoffs, they don't make it out of the first round.
I was very tempted to just put defense.
What about the Jared Cook play on the sideline? And then Mason Crosby's 55-yard field goal or something like that. That was a good one.
Come on, Austin and I have been saying this ever since Joe Burrow got injured.
I just do not see Harden putting in the same amount of effort into each game. And I honestly believe that's why he hasn't won a championship yet.
That's a perfect name. What you said, name brand players. Like, it's not the great value Target brand toilet paper or whatever. It's the Charmin Ultra Strong.
I swear we didn't script that.
Fultz is injured, and he really hasn't lived up to the potential of being the number one overall pick when he was selected by the Sixers.
Like you said, Ovechkin, he's getting older. He hasn't been playing as well as I imagined. He's one of the greatest goal scorers of all time, but he hasn't started off this season as hot as I would hope.
How is Joe Burrow going to get the ball to them if his butt is already on the ground and he finally decides who to throw to?
I don't really think the Dodgers are going to make the World Series this year. I feel like they'll make it to the NLCS.
And then I want to talk about the Fernando Tatis extension, because that really surprised me. Because he's so young. You see the Chiefs beefing up their O-line, and then you have the Buccaneers beefing up their defensive line.
Ingrained in the life of Tom Brady and what winning actually looks like, I think will be a very good move for Bruce Arians and this Bucs organization.
Hi, I'm Jeff Allen, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL episode. As make sure to check out our last episode, which was episode 93, when we announced our new format to episodes, as it is an opinions for each league per week. So we were doing week of August 22nd. And so we're going to talk about the NFL and earlier this week. And I think today, as we were recording on Friday, they announced Jameis Winston is now the starting QB of the Saints. That's an intriguing storyline. I can't wait to see the Buccaneers game for that one. Then you, of course, hear Teddy Bridgewater, and then we're just going to start talking about that, and then we'll talk about Urban Meyer later in this episode. But let's start off with the QB announcements. Which one surprised you, Austin?
I would say Jameis, only because Jameis has proven me wrong. And I haven't really mentioned it here, but I thought that Jameson, when he left, really was done. Because of his interception tendencies, I didn't see him making a comeback as he did, and I was wrong. He's proven me wrong. Even though it's been against weaker defenses in the preseason like the Jaguars, he still has impressed me. And I definitely think that he could be a capable starter this season. They have him as a 65-1 chance of leading the league in passing yards. I would take that bet. If Michael Thomas can stay healthy and the rest of the wide receiver core stay healthy, I would not be surprised if Jameis Winston led the league in passing yards.
Yeah. You're the one that sent me, because I was going to mention that. You're the person that sent me that little cool stat. I also agree with you. I thought it was going to be Taysom Hill, because you have more versatility with Taysom Hill. Like, we'll still see him, and he got that start last year. I'm very intrigued to see how Winston does with Sean Payton, as Sean Payton really hasn't worked with a different quarterback since Tony Romo with the Cowboys. Am I correct? Because I know Sean Payton was there.
Full-time starter, yes. Obviously, there's been times where Drew Brees has been hurt and he's had a different starter. But yeah, as a starter for a season, yeah. This is the first time since, Romo.
Yeah, and he was a big part of keeping Romo on the team. But that's a story for another time. And then a wide receiver I am definitely picking up in my fantasy is Callaway, because those two catches were incredible.
Yeah, that was wow. They were great throws, but the catches is what made them happen. And dang,
Because
those
he
were
had pass interference on the first one, and then you
yeah,
have the second one as he's like falling out. Oh man, that was so good.
yeah,
And
that
then
was outstanding.
and now let's. I also forgot the Jaguars finally announced the because it was such. I know a lot of people were so concerned about the tough QB battle with the Jaguars. I hope you can sense my sarcasm because I know Minshew's good and I feel bad for the guy. But when you pick number one overall, Trevor Lawrence, and you're like, I don't know, we're not gonna declare our QB yet. I'm like, it's gonna be Lawrence. Like Lawrence, a lot of people he received a lot of hype, and I think a lot of it is based on his merit. Like some people called him the next prospect, the latest prospect to be like most hype up prospect since Andrew Luck in 2012. I think I think Lawrence will do well, but there are some things he needs to fix. But I'm curious on if like it didn't surprise me. I was just glad they finally announced it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I wasn't also not surprised when they announced it. I'm surprised how long it took to announce. I always expected it to be Trevor Lawrence, as like you mentioned, not only is he a number one pick, but I feel like Minshew kind of had a falling out last season when they went with Mike Glennon. So yeah, I'm not very surprised by it. And then going on to Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock, I also thought it was going to be Teddy Bridgewater. I'm not very surprised by that. This may have been Drew Lock's last opportunity at a starting job during his career, and if it is, I'm sad for the guy. I don't feel like he really got all that fair of an opportunity last season because of the injuries to the guys on offense. Cortland Sutton's a great wide receiver, and for him to be out all season, it really hurt. I think the Broncos could be a dark horse this season. That if their defense picks up like I know it can and everything works out right, I wouldn't be surprised if they made a push. But it's really going to be interesting to see uh, what happens with the Trey Lance situation um, and uh, what the 49ers do if they get off to a bad start, if they get off to a good start, if one of their QBs gets hurt and then comes back after he's playing well. I'm really interested to see what the 49ers and teams like the Patriots do if their veterans start playing good and then get hurt, or vice versa, the rookie starts playing good and then gets hurt, and then their veteran steps in and plays even better. Obviously, we could talk about the Bears also. There's a lot of interesting QB tandems right now that it's going to be weird seeing what happens.
You just read my mind for that like whole minute because I was like, you got Bridgewater, you transitioned Bridgewater. I'm like, 49ers, talk about 49ers. And then I thought of Bears, and then you talked about the Bears. Very intrigued with the 49ers. To the Teddy Bridgewater, I think there's going to be a moment where Vic Fangio switches to Drew Lock during the season, which could be, I think, could be a bad decision based on how it is going, how Bridgewater is playing, and I think that may be a mistake looked upon Elway's tenure as GM because he hired Vic Fangio, and I don't know if that was the right move when you had a young QB because they hired Fangio after Drew Lock's rookie season, or was it rookie season of Drew Lock, his first year with Fangio?
I think Locke's rookie season was the first year of Fangio.
Okay.
I think.
Did they change offensive coordinators?
I think
When
they
he,
did. I think you're right.
okay.
I think they did change offensive coordinators.
And the Broncos are not a team that is patient with their young QBs. You had Tim Tebow. You ditched Tim Tebow for Peyton Manning.
Immediately,
Yeah.
right after he had a pretty decent season in my eyes, and that was his last year as a starter.
And then you ditch after Peyton Manning. Brock Osweiler leaves you at the altar, and then Trevor
Simeon.
He had a good season, and then you ditch him for Keenum.
And then you ditch Keenum for Flacco.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Keenum for
Gosh, dude.
Flacco, and then you had that weird season where no one was really. That Flacco season was weird.
And
It was
wasn't that when Drew
weird.
Lock came in?
Sort of. Yes. At the end of the season, it was Drew Lock. And then last season happened. And then Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, and then they traded Keenum to the
Washington.
Washington.
Mhm.
Oh man, that is
And
so.
Flacco left for the Jets. And now Flacco's on the Eagles. I don't know what's happening.
Oh man, that's there should be like the Broncos quarterback marriages. Just like started
They should
here and then
they
go
should
here,
probably
here,
do
here.
like, on NBA TNT, they do Where Is That Player Now? They should do one of those for like Joe Flacco. Well, isn't he on the Broncos? No, he's not on the Broncos. Is he on the Jets? No, he's not on the Jets. He's on the Eagles. Yeah. Yeah. I always remember Joe Flacco over that. Great Eagles, great.
And he had a game with the Jets where he did really well. That was with Adam Gase.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, we will totally produce that show. TNT, call us, DM us on Twitter. Make sure to check out the Twitter page. But let's talk about Urban Meyer. We were talking about the Jaguars and how long it took him when it seemed like a pretty easy thing, and then we can talk about him bringing in Tebow. I'm surprised he got cut in the first round of cuts. I thought he would have been a final cut, or you make him in like a Taysom Hill role. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't really think he was given the best opportunity. I feel like he was more of I just quit. He quit baseball knowing that he was going to get a football job, I think, is what happened. And while I don't think he was NFL ready this season, I think if he took another year, he could become a capable tight end, especially a Taysom Hill-esque tight end. But he definitely does not fit the game right now, especially at his knowledge at tight end isn't as good, and he obviously has been playing baseball for a while. So it's interesting to see, and I'm more concerned with Urban Meyer. He just doesn't look like an NFL coach. I don't know if that makes sense. He still looks like he's playing the college game. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but it just doesn't seem like he's morphed into what an NFL head coach has to be. He feels like more of a Saban to me. Saban never really did morph into the NFL game, and it doesn't really seem like not Saban, that Meyer is either.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, it's difficult to make that transition because who was the last successful college head coach to move into an NFL head coaching
Well, it
job?
depends what you mean by successful, but I mean, I would say Johnson, right?
I'm trying to think of Johnson. Can you give me the first name?
Jimmy?
Oh, Jimmy Johnson. Oh, gotcha. Wow, that's far back. Because I remember Chip Kelly from Oregon to the Eagles,
Well,
and then
that's why I said it depends what you mean successful, because was Chip Kelly successful? He made a couple playoff appearances, but Jimmy Johnson won multiple Super Bowls.
Wow, I was not thinking that far back. You're probably right though. So, and like you mentioned Saban, and then I don't think Dabo Sweeney has ever mentioned.
I don't think you could ever leave. I don't
Yeah,
see a
he's like, I
reason.
don't want to leave, and I think you have the same thing. Oh my gosh, why am I forgetting the Oklahoma head coach?
Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley, and I don't think he's even expressed anything. Because why leave the college
They still get
when you
paid
have it
insane
made?
amounts. Yeah.
So, and I think you and I were both higher on Bieniemy and DeBall or DeBall.
Yeah.
Like, I would have gone with an offense coordinator, like them. I would have gone Bieniemy because Chiefs, but also DeBall is a good fit, and I'm surprised neither of them got a head coaching job. It's great for the Bills and Chiefs, but
Again, it's what I told you. It's because can they do it when it's not Josh Allen? Can they do it when it's not Patrick Mahomes? And while I definitely think they can, they have their doubters. So I'm surprised not one of them got signed, especially because of the situation of some teams. I think, man, would Eric Bieniemy be great for Trevor Lawrence as a young QB? I feel like that would have been a perfect setup. And while they probably still are terrible this year as a team, Trevor Lawrence in the future would be much better for it.
And I also think the ball would be great because look at Josh Allen's rookie completion percentage, or is it his second year completion percentage? I think he was like 60's good, right? Or
60's fine.
I think he was at
You want to be
60,
at least 60.
and then I think he went up to like 70 or something because the ball changed his mechanics with not Carson, I think it's Jim Palmer, the quarterback coach, because I remember that feature on like a Sunday night football thing. So even he would be great given how Josh Allen was such a raw product, and you give him a more mature product in Lawrence. But you can also, well, the enemy was there, but I don't know if he was a key part of Mahomes. But just when he has a mature offense, he can do wonders with it. So
He can do anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it's incredible. And given how Jeff Allen has talked about him, I think he would be great laying down the foundation.
Yeah.
Because look at Brian Flores.
Another
Like,
coach I think I have to mention is Todd Bowles. I know he got an extension with the Bucks, but I think if he was giving an opportunity with a team not named the Jets, I feel like he could do something great with that too. Especially maybe if the Cardinals doesn't work out. I feel like the defense that they're building over there would be great for Todd Bowles, and especially if you brought in, I don't know, a great offensive coordinator for Kyler Murray, I feel like that could work wonders.
yeah, I'm trying to think of an up and coming offensive coordinator.
It could be Matt LaFleur's brother, but I
He's
mean,
with the Jets, or is he not an offense coordinator, or is he
I
the
thought
QB?
he,
I thought he was the offense coordinator. You
I
looking it
don't
up?
think he was yet, but you can check.
Okay,
Maybe I'm wrong.
but that's a great thing. Or even give him a mature quarterback, um, for Todd Bowles because he did something that seemed impossible in the Super Bowl. He shut down the Chiefs offense.
Yeah,
So that's
you're
the thing
right.
to
It
talk
is.
about. Okay, Mike
Yeah,
LaFleur.
he is.
I think there's someone else though. Trying to Lynn, Anthony Lynn.
Oh, yep.
That could be your offense coordinator
That would
with
be
Todd Bowles.
perfect. That would be perfect. Now, Lynn struggled as a head coach because I don't know if he knows how to run a team as a whole to a unified goal. I feel like the Chargers didn't have their full potential, and I fully understand with the firing, even though it does hurt Justin Herbert, in my opinion, getting a new coach. But I feel Glenn would be a perfect coordinator for a guy like Bowles. I mean, you could also just hire Lynn and have Bowles be the coordinator. I don't think Bowles would go from a coordinator at the
To a
Bucks
coordinator.
to a coordinator. So I think you would have to hire Todd Bowles as a head coach and then get Lynn out of hiatus into offensive coordinator job. But I feel like that would work wonders for a Cardinals team that is still growing to their max potential.
Yeah, I think that's I was thinking Bowles head coach and then Lynn um, as the offense coordinator, and with this sort of mature QB and Kyler Murray, and this would be a return from Bowles to the Cardinals because he was the defensive coordinator under Bruce Arians, and they left to be the coach of the Jets, and then he wound up in the Buccaneers. That's how I think it worked out. So that's just, but I do agree. Urban Meyer, it was like, okay, you're just kind of doing this for show. Um, and it's an experiment, and I think it's one that will bite him in the butt later. And then I'm going to talk about final thing we'll talk about for our opinions is rest because Staley rested all his stars. He rested Herbert, Allen, I think Bosa,
Eckler,
Eckler, yeah. I think Williams. So, and given how the preseason is shortened and then you have the extra game, but two of the big names, I think that's how I say it, big names, Mahomes and Brady played in the preseason. Like it wasn't for a lengthy time, but it was, they played. Like they didn't just sit out. And then you've seen Garoppolo play, but the big thing was Mahomes and Brady two center pieces to their team's success this season played. So I'm curious on what side do you stand on?
I think they play. I think you should play at least by the last game. I think you should be playing at least a quarter. I believe first game may be a drive, second game may be 2 drives, and a quarter. I feel like is the max amount that Brady or Mahomes should play, but I believe in playing. These are guys that you're going to be playing with. And this is free football. It is free football to learn your team, learn your coordinators, learn the guys that haven't been there before. And Tom Brady has a perfect excuse not to play. They re-signed everybody. It's the same team. He has a perfect excuse. I know all the guys. I play with all of them. Why would I need to practice? Oh wait, it's Tom Brady. Oh wait, that's what makes him so great is that it's like, okay, this is a job. I'm not going to play the entire game because it's preseason. No reason to risk my health, but I need to practice too. I'm not perfect. I need to practice. Let's go play.
He's also the king of health. You got the TB12 method because you don't know when he's going to end. Like, you don't even know. So one more final thing is the offensive line, like with the Chiefs. I think the offensive line may even have to go a little bit more into the second quarter of the final game because they're entirely new. And Jeff Allen has talked about how important how important that communication is between your offensive line. So I think when you have a huge overturn of some players and you want to have Super Bowl aspirations, well, everyone has Super Bowl aspirations, but if you want to be very good, you have to get that rep. You have to get practice, and it's just something you can't replicate in a training camp setting. So I do agree they play to an extent. But I do agree with Tom Brady. Like, he has an excuse. He's like, TB12, and I don't want to. But he's doing it. Same with Mahomes. Mahomes can be like, I don't care. I don't want to do this. But they are. And that just goes to show their success. But now that concludes our episode. So thank you for listening. Make sure to check out our other videos about opinions as we are recording those as well. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.